Hi, good afternoon, everybody. So, I thought while I am waiting for candy to cool down, because I'm making candy and chamoy today, good. So, I'm waiting for right now the chocolate to cool down and harden. I thought I would do Q&A, because I promised that I would, and I have like a couple pages. I just took as many that could fit on 2 pages and thought, why not? So, we're going to start with Tabitha Anthony. Sorry, I murdered it. Apologize. Tabitha Anthony. She left this question. If the bio dad was concerned about the boy when he was away from work to the point that he was asking people to check in and help, why did he stick around and end up eventually adding another child to the mix? So yeah, I asked that same question to him. Like, if you were going to go through a divorce with BioMom, why? I mean, I understand that they decided to, reconcile, on and off throughout this chaos that he was dealing with. And she ended up getting pregnant, which is not a oops. Everybody knows how babies are made. I don't know the answer to that question. I asked that a million times. I did. And, he's human. He's a man. Bless his heart. But, yeah, I don't have the answer to that one. I wish I did, but I don't. I apologize. I got one from Amanda Eebo, and if I murder anybody's name, I apologize. I'm so sorry. It says, how old were they when you received the RAD diagnosis? Okay, we were in... I believe it was it was right before we moved into this house. So I am going to guess, let's see. So they were about, the boy was probably 10. Yeah, about 10, 11 years old. So we got them when they were 5 and 7. So quite a bit of years before we got that diagnosis, guys. Yeah. So after a lot of trial and error and trying to fix things, you get down to the point where certain criterias don't fit and you keep digging. At least we ended up finding a psychiatrist. Remember, we went through several counselors, psychiatrists. We had several going at the same time, but we ended up getting a really good one. She's about 20-30 minutes from us. And she's a really good one, guys. And she helped out tremendously. And she's the one that ended up giving the diagnosis. So, yes. Angel Morningstar, you wrote, do you miss them? I can see how you distance yourself like emotionally from them now that they are no longer in your house. But knowing their horrific trauma and all you did to help them, you must have loved them so deeply. So, I did. I give unconditional love. And, love them very much and will love them both probably to the day I die. Missing them, I miss the little girl tremendously. She was probably the one, if there was any sort of attachment or bonding at all, she was probably the one that I bonded to and stuff. Although it's interesting to say the little girl and dad were the closest and me and the boy were the closest, believe it or not. But I really did have more time with the little girl. And you guys, she just left my home this last March. So yeah, we're coming up on a year. So it's still very fresh. And I miss her. But I know her and him cannot ever live back in my home again. I do realize that. Let's see here. Madeline Rittenauer. I'm sorry if I murdered that. So what do you mean when you say that he screamed vulgar things like threats on you guys or self-harm or what? Okay, so neither one of my stepkids ever threatened. They never threatened suicide. They never threatened to harm themselves. I wanted to just get that out there right away. They were never suicidal. Never that I ever remember them like straight up being suicidal. The vulgar things that he would say would be like that he was going to harm my family, that I was a lot of nasty names, that my kids were a lot of nasty names. He would scream that the devil was in him and it was going to come out one day and get my kids. And it's interesting because when he started screaming about being the devil or turning into the devil or being really into the devil was after he was at the second to last facility where they really pushed religion. Like they went to church. They really pushed religion and stuff on the kids more than any of the other facilities. And it seemed like he read the Bible and he took all of the bad out of it and he would project that onto my family. So yeah, some things were very scary for my kids. Imagine being little guys and hearing some things that you just would never hear from anybody and being very scared. So yeah, pretty vulgar things. You may hear my daughters in the background, and my grandbabies are over here as well, so you may hear them in the background. So Anna Foreman said, do you believe the stepkids or kids was molested? Does anyone else believe they had to have learned it from someone like the BioMom or whoever she had them around? How old were they? So my stepdaughter was molested. My stepson was not molested. Okay. As my stepdaughter had said when she was 5, she claims, and I don't know where she got the words other than she learned them from the people, her mom and the people she was around, but she claims she was gang raped by her babysitter's husband, and their 2 boys. And that mom kept taking them back to the babysitter's house. And when we looked for the police report, it was never reported. Mom claims she reported it. No report is ever found. So, yeah. And this was, you know, back, I think, like 2 years, a year before we got them. They did learn a lot from their mom. Rad kids that are damaged, I have learned seek out bad. And they're like little sponges that soak up other people's personality, and it's where they feel more comfortable. So yeah, a lot of stuff that they did learn. You're right. Mallory says, how did he not puke after eating all that? Was he like a really big kid? Neither one of the kids were big at all. They were stick skinny. For years, I have a lot of my PTSD and trauma. As you see, I get really nervous. My counselor says I flip my hair back when I get nervous. But yeah, a lot of my trauma is actually because of how skinny they were. I knew what they were stealing. I knew the amounts they were eating. I knew what I was feeding them. They were still really skinny. We did not find out with the boy. We're not going to, with the girl, I don't know. But with the boy, we found out when he went to the second placement. We found out from the psychiatrist when she was doing, she has to do an evaluation to see if they fit the criteria to go to an RTC. Guys, you just can't put your kids into an RTC. I don't know if people understand that. There's PTRF, which is temporary, to get them on medication to get them stable, and RTC is long-term. To get a child into RTC takes a lot of work. The psychiatrist, it can't even be a psychologist, it has to be a psychiatrist, and they have to do a complete evaluation to see if they meet the criteria. If they are suicidal or homicidal, they have to go to a PTRF before they can go to an RTC, and RTCs a lot of times do not have beds open, so they're very hard to get into. Anyways, when they were doing the evaluation with him, the counselor was talking to him about different things. We had wondered this, me and the psychiatric doctor, and I think the psychologist that they were seeing. And I want to say maybe the counselor too. But we all wondered if there was an eating disorder that was in play. Because I had taken him to the doctor. We had gotten blood work and stool samples and all these things done, and everything came back A-okay. So there was suspicion on if there was an eating disorder. Now, she found out there was not an eating disorder because rad children have to have control, and they control everything that goes in their body and everything that comes out of their body. Remember that throughout talking. Those are the only two things in life that they can completely control. So he liked to eat extremely a lot, and he found that his food needs would be met at his BioMoms or anywhere he went if he played the role of, I am not being fed. I am being starved. I'm not being fed. When he wanted something, that was the MO that he would use. So they found out that he would eat, or the psychiatric doctor found out, he would eat the food and he would get up, go to the bathroom, and puke it up. He didn't want the food. He just didn't want anybody else to have the food. It was a control issue. So when he ended up, because obviously he met the criteria, and they sent him off to that RTC, they found out that, you know, they wouldn't allow, he would have to go to the bathroom, then he would eat, and then he would have to sit in a square on the floor by somebody who watched him, and he would have to sit there for an hour to make sure his food digested. And then all of a sudden, magically, he started gaining weight. So when said child is allowed to just eat endlessly and lives with some super mythical person who has endless money, or is on food stamps or something and has endless food and money, which we didn't get food stamps and stuff, and not on anybody who gets food stamps. I'm just saying, when you are able to buy excessive amounts of food, he's happier than a pig in mud, because he can just eat and eat and eat and eat. The last time I seen him, he was on the heavy side, not obese. He had, you know, put in a lot of weight on his chest area, we noticed, and in his face. But when we had seen him 6 months earlier, he was stick skinny again. So I guess he goes through moments of control. Brandi Simmons said, this might be a way personal question, and I understand if you choose not to answer, but how do you feel about the kids now? You seem like you really loved and cared about them. You seem to have gotten emotional when you started talking about the journal changing to all smiles, and that you wrote you sticky notes back. Also, did he call you mom? Okay, so both of my stepkids called me mom, and they called their bio mom by her first name. If somebody would say mom referring to her, they would get very violent, and they would say that is not their mom, that I was their mom. So yes, they called me mom. Let's see here. I did really love them and care for them. I do want nothing but the best for them. I feel like love is, it's never ending. So honestly, you know, like, I guess in my world, love is never ending. So I will love them to the day I die. How do I feel about them now? Boy, that's a good one. That's a good question, Brandi. So I feel like don't ever want them around me or my family ever again. I know that sounds probably very cold and callous. Everybody likes to state that it wasn't their fault, but I also like to state back, it wasn't our fault either. I do believe 1000%, no matter how malice this sounds, I believe that they should have gave their bio mom all of this hate and discontent because she deserved it. And I'm sure I will be attacked for that, and honestly, I don't care. We definitely did not deserve it, any of the hate and discontent. I do think that they regret. I think the girl regrets the way she treated us, and I feel like at times she does have remorse. The boy, no. I feel like he has no remorse, no feelings, no sympathy, no empathy. I feel like he would literally be that person that would piss on his own parents' grave because it was something to do. He is the most callous, cold, unloving person I have ever met. It's like trying to love somebody who completely despises you and trying to hug that person with the cold, stiff hug. You know, everything is fake with him. I mean that in the best sense ever. He is the fakest person I have ever had the pleasure to be around, and I've been around a lot of damaged kids. He just has no sympathy and empathy, guys, and it's hard to bond. It's hard to be around somebody like that, and I just don't ever want, especially him, around my kids, or in my house or around us. I don't trust him. I also don't wish, I think when the girl grows up, if she was to want to talk to me, I think I would talk to her. I don't think I would allow her in my house, and I definitely don't want her around my kids ever again. Everybody likes to state that my kids and them are related through dad. We don't feel that way. My kids don't feel any relation to them. In fact, they have asked me numerous times to change their last name because they don't want to be connected to them. I think I'm getting sick, guys. And their bio dad has said that he would not care if they changed their name because he wants to change his name as well. Everybody just wants to be disconnected from BioMom and these two kids in every way since that we possibly can. I've explained to my girls that they will grow up and they will get married and their last name will change. As for me, I probably will change my last name. I know a lot of you guys do not know this, but I am going to inform you. I am still married to Bio Dad. We have been separated for 3.5 years, going on 4, maybe, sorry, 4. It's been quite some time. We are still married. He refuses to divorce me. We do still talk. He does come and visit the kids and stuff. He's still working out of town quite often. We don't have the best relationship right now because my husband went back to addiction. He is an alcoholic. And so I will not allow him around the kids until he gets control of his addiction. My choice. And he agrees with that. So he calls the kids. He comes over to my house and he spends hours with them. He does not take them. Let's go to the next one. Jesse Jennings, it says, I literally went through something similar with my brother growing up. I don't want to talk about it on here, but if you'd like to message me, I had talked to you on there because I am here first and foremost if you need to talk. And I've been following your story since I found the one on TikTok, so I can't wait for this next video. But I know it must be hard to relive everything, so if you ever want to talk, just comment where I can reach you and we will go from there. Jesse, that is the kindest, most sweetest, most selfish thing I've ever seen. You're so sweet. I got rid of all my friends. I'm a loner and I'm okay with it. So a little piece about me, guys. I found out from my ex-best friend's husband that my best friend and my husband's husband, oh God, I did not say husbands, I said husband, but that they were having sexual relations between them. I do not know if they had sex. I do know that a lot of texts, video, and pictures happened for over a 13-year period. Her husband found it on a phone that she had given him because his broke, and kept it to himself, which I don't know why, because I've known him since he was 8 and he's one of my really close friends, but he had told me about it. I found out after me and my husband had already broke up. So when that happened, I felt so betrayed and so upset that I never suspected it, guys. Never suspected it in the sense. And she was literally like my sister. Love her dearly. Will always love her and her kids dearly. But it completely broke my heart. She knew I was going through hell. She's seen me going through hell. Like, why would you choose to do that? You know, I had my own things with my husband going on. He cheated on me a lot of times. And I forgave him for it. For my stepkids. I stayed with him to protect my stepkids, guys. I stayed in a very unhappy, unhealthy marriage to protect these kids because I knew that if I left, he would send them back with BioMom because he got to the point where he couldn't handle them anymore. And so I took the brunt of everything. And in the process, I damaged my mental health badly. And going through all of that, then hearing that, excuse me, my best friend did that, literally was the last straw for me. And I got rid of everybody in my life. And I have literally started over. So, Jesse, I feel like I would love to talk to you because I could use friends right now. My TikTok, I cannot get messages because I had another account and I had like 150,000 friends or whatever on there. And then when that whole thing went on where everybody was losing their accounts and stuff, I was one of them that it happened to. So my phone is tagged to that account, but I cannot get in that account. So on this new one, it won't let me link my phone up to it, which means I can't even use the messages. So if you could, is there a way you guys can message me on here? I would gladly be happy to talk to anybody who wants to talk about things. Like, it's nice to talk and get everything off my chest. Brandi Delaney said, how long was the time period that BioMom had the kids without the dad being able to see them? How long did it take for you guys to get the RAD diagnosis? So I answered the RAD diagnosis part. I believe BioMom had them hidden for 3 years. I can't remember the exact timeline, but when she lived with me, the kids were 1.5 years and 4.5. Seems about right. So a little bit after that time until we got them at 5 and 7. She had them and she kept them from him and hid them out. And there was a lot of turmoil between BioMom and Dad, because when they were going to divorce the first time before the little girl was conceived, she was going to give the boy to my husband. And then she realized she wasn't going to get child support and have money, so then she decided against that. And then they ended up deciding to reconcile things, and she was pregnant. And it's just like, that whole thing in itself is a complete mess that I don't think I could figure out if I tried. But right now in my life, I'm extremely happy. You guys, I have the best boyfriend in the world, I swear. I usually go for a certain type of guy. This time I went for a completely different type of guy. We are moving extremely slow. Snail's pace slow because I'm terrified. But guys, it took a long time for him to ever talk to my kids. And when he did, it was only on the phone. And then it went to video talking. And then when he finally got to meet them, it was like my kids always knew him. Because, you know, we took a long time and a slow time doing everything. And my kids love him, guys. Like, love him. And my kids are his complete world. I'm telling you, he's great. He does things I've never had before. Like, buys me flowers every week. Sends me I love yous and I care about you and you're beautiful and you're smart and just beautiful things. You guys, all day long. All day long. He does my laundry for me, guys. It's great. He cooks for me. I cook and I love to cook. I can cook, bake, whatever you want. But he cooks and he likes to cook for me. In fact, I have to be gluten-free right now. I'm allergic to gluten. I just found that out, and I'm lactose intolerant. Who would have guessed? But the doctor has me on this new diet, and my boyfriend wants to make sure that I stay strong with it. So he made all my lunches up for an entire week. It's pretty cool. You know, there isn't a thing that he wouldn't do for me. If I even dare say I like something, he buys it. He feels like I was so neglected and so abused that he wants to make up for it, even though it's by far not his job to make up for anything. But boy, he sure tries. Like, he, bless his heart, he's just a beautiful person, and he's not from around here, which is even better. Because I don't have the stigma of all of these girls around here who are my friends or whatever trying to get with him. And it's funny because they have tried. So BioMom actually, BioMom and her sister have actually wrote my boyfriend, asking, you know, trying to talk trash on me to him to get him to not be with me. And his response was, stupid camera. His response was the most beautiful response ever. And it wasn't very nice, but yeah, they actually tried to get in between the relationship I have now. You know, I don't know if anybody who watches my videos has ever been stalked. Maybe by a guy, maybe you've been stalked by a guy or an ex or something. I am being stalked by my ex-husband's ex-wife. She has taken on my persona. She has put things all over her Facebook about me. She has literally and completely tried to become me, tried to sleep with. I've only had this one boyfriend since me and my husband split up, but she tries to like think she's going to write him because he's going to find her so beautiful and irresistible that he wants to be with, you know, this toothless meth whore. I mean, that's just my theory on her. She is gross and disgusting to me just because she just can't let it go. She cannot let go of whatever infatuation she has of me. But yeah, they have wrote my boyfriend. And I have his phone 99% of the time because he has this game on his phone that I'm addicted to. And he has so much trust in me that he has put my fingerprint and my irises into his phone so I can go and look in his phone whenever I want, which I don't do that. I don't look through his stuff. But he feels that I'm so insecure because I was treated so badly by my ex when it comes to like the cheating part, that he wants me to feel secure. So guys, if you're right, my man, you're probably gonna get me instead of him because it's gonna pop up probably when I'm playing games on his phone. I do not put games on my phone because I feel like if I do, then I won't get a whole lot of work done, guys. I would be sitting there playing games all the time because like I'll get a hold of his phone and this number game thingy he has on it, and gosh, I'm on there for like 2 hours playing games. Yes, but my chocolate should be dry. I have a crap ton of hot chocolate bombs, so I have made over 2,000 hot chocolate bombs and shipped them all over the world. So if you want hot chocolate bombs, I sell them. So I have some drying. I also make chamoy candy, Mexican candy. I don't know if you know that about that, but I sell that. I also sell mental health planners, which you can either have me print out and bind them for you, or you can do it digital and download them yourself. I also do weight loss, finance, a big journey one that has everything that a planner could ever need, and I also print that, or there's digital. And I make candy bars and candy slabs, great big candy bars. So if you ever want anything like that, go check it out. But I got to get back to it, guys, because it's busy, busy, busy time. You all have a great rest of the day, and I will be back tomorrow to talk about a lot of stuff. I know that I didn't get to a lot of stuff today like I planned on it, but there was chaos this morning with my littlest one. She didn't get very good sleep, so I was just trying to get a video in for you guys, and I realized there was so much in between stuff that I hadn't talked about, so I needed to get that in. But I will be back tomorrow. You guys have a beautiful day, and be nice. Put more good in the world than you take out. Bye, guys.